Merci, Monsieur le Président. I rise as somebody who considers myself a digital native. As some of you will know, I spend a great deal of my time on Twitter and Facebook. I think they are extraordinary vectors for us to reach out to Canadians to explain the work that we do in the Senate. And I think that used responsibly, they can be a very powerful tool for us to make the Senate relevant to younger Canadians who don't understand the work of this Assembly. And I think that there are some excellent, I think my colleague Senator Frum, for example, does an excellent job on Twitter of being both an outspoken advocate for her own point of view, but of also engaging Canadians in conversation. So I would greatly regret if a few intemperate remarks from some of us in this chamber were to forever taint the reputation of the platforms and the capacity that they have to do real good for the Senate and for democratic discourse in this country. I would also say, as somebody who is of partial Mennonite origin, I'm very proud of my Mennonite roots, that most of the Mennonites I know would not define themselves as social conservatives, but as social progressives. And I think of the extraordinary work done by the Mennonite Center for Newcomers in Edmonton, which has been at the vanguard of sponsorship, not just of Syrian immigrants in this latest round, but of Vietnamese immigrants before then, and of my Mennonite relatives who would count themselves, I think, as social justice warriors long before that term was prevalent. But while I am aware that Senator Plett took some offense to Senator Murray's columns, which I don't think were in any way designed to invoke that response, I would like to say I would offer up to the Senator the opportunity that he might have to apologize for me for a tweet in which he said that I was selling out my province and that my actions were shameful. It took 20 hours for that tweet to come down. There has never been any apology tendered for the allegation that I was selling out Alberta or that my actions in defense of my province, in the full-throated defense of my province, were in any way shameful. I do not apologize for my vote on C-48, and I stand here proudly as an Albertan, and I am greatly offended at the insinuation, not the insinuation, at the bold-faced statement that I am a sellout to my province. Also remaining online is Senator Plett's retweet of a prominent, well-known Twitter troll who accused me of taking payment to vote for the way I did on C-48, and the tweet ends, "It's time for me to vote or resign." I don't know if it's a typical protocol for senators to call for one another's resignations. I know that I am not the only senator who's a member of the Independent Senate Group who's been targeted by Senate staff. Other senators here have also had Senate staffers call for their resignation for the most ridiculous and flimsy of reasons. I say again, Mr. Speaker, and I say to all of you here, it is a waste of an extraordinary opportunity that we have with Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram to show this Senate at its best, to demonstrate democratic discourse at its best. If we can't model good behavior on social media, how can we model proper democratic behavior for the country? So I would call upon all of us. It's like Prometheus with fire. It is a great tool. Used badly, it can be immensely destructive. It also has extraordinary potential for creative outreach, and I would call upon us to embrace the better angels of our nature and to make the best possible use of the 21st century technology that we have, because returning to a world in which we only answer paper letters with envelopes and stamps is not appropriate going forward in the 21st century.